distinct and a heartfelt welcome to all. I'm Esther Buerki, the passionate creator behind the book Living Without Fear, which has touched many lives, and I'm the co-creator of the Amazon best-selling Inspired Journeys. If you're eager to explore a world of endless possibilities, you've come to the right place. Know someone who could use a dose of inspiration from today's episode? Feel free to share this podcast with them, and don't forget to stay updated by subscribing to my newsletter, joining me on YouTube, and if you found value in what you heard, kindly leave a brief review on your preferred podcast platform with a sprinkle of stars. Your unwavering support truly warms my heart, and I'm deeply appreciative of each and every one of you. Thank you for being here. And today's topic is the perspective shift. I just come from a coaching session with my personal coach I've been working with for 4 years. And I absolutely need to tell you what I learned and what I want to practice in the future. Shifting my perspective transforms everything. But let's go back a moment in my life to put you in perspective what I experienced early on. Since my childhood, I have this fear of missing out, or even nowadays, because I didn't feel seen when I was a child, and I always had to take care of myself. My parents were often busy with themselves, and they couldn't take care of me. So I developed this fear of missing out very early on. And in school, it became the constant fear. I could miss out what the teacher said, I could misunderstand what she meant, or I could miss out being part of a group in the class which organized something after school. Nowadays, this fear of missing out still pops up. I check my emails very thoroughly because I could miss out an important information or a coupon code to buy things cheaper, or I could miss out the webinar from a famous coach who knows how to become very successful very easily, etc., etc. So this is the way I'm looking at myself, and I'm constantly judging myself. But I could change the perspective by saying, you want to grow more, so it is important to take care of your emails so that you can learn more. Or by changing the perspective, I don't act anymore out of fear, but out of curiosity. What I often do as well is to judge myself when things aren't working out to my favor. For example, when I don't succeed in getting all my money back for a wooden bench for our garden, which was already half broken when my younger son put the pieces together, then I blame myself that I wasn't good enough in writing to the company and making them understand that I'm not happy with only a partial refund, because I would want a new bench which will last the next years and make us happy to sit in our garden and watch the sunset. Here as well, I can use a perspective shift. Instead of blaming myself, I could tell myself, I need to insist more. I need to write back again and be clearer about what I expect. And I don't have to blame anyone, neither the company nor myself, but just insist and try again. And finally, it worked out. I got all my money back. Another example is also my constant wish to suffer less in life, to have less this feeling of being not good enough, to have less self-doubts. I grew up with parents who were constantly doubting themselves and others as well, who rarely felt good enough and who couldn't teach me self-confidence. And of course, I became like them. And I always thought I will suffer until the end of my life because of a lack of self-confidence and because of this huge amount of self-doubts. But this isn't true. I have worked on all these topics and my life got so much easier compared to decades ago. Only from time to time, I feel I'm back to my old self, suffering again from a lot of self-doubts and feelings of not being good enough. But in those moments, I will start implementing as well a perspective shift. Instead of telling myself in those low moments, oh, you're there again. All your work you did in the past didn't help at all. You are a failure. You will spend the rest of your life in pain and feeling depressed. Do you recognize that you've been doing this as well? Is it familiar to you? Instead of talking to ourselves this way, we can shift our perspective by telling ourselves, we aren't there yet. There will always be those low moments, but this doesn't mean that they will last forever. No, it will change again. The beautiful moments will come back again. If we do the work, if we listen inwards, if we meditate and practice gratitude, we will feel again all the progress we have made already, and we can be proud of ourselves, how far we have come already. For example, whenever nowadays I visit my parents who will turn 90 in a few months, I see their fear, their self-doubts, their suffering. I see how they constantly blame themselves and how they got grumpy. And in these moments, I recognize clearly how much I've learned in the past and how much I could change my mindset. I feel so much gratitude for my inner work. I often think if I could, I would distribute this growth mindset to everyone for free, because if we are able to shift our perspective, we suffer so much less in life. I could go on with a lot of other examples where you can use this, but you might have discovered already situations where you suffer too much and where you need to apply a shift in perspective. And a last word to the belief that this challenging journey of self-development will end someday and you will feel totally happy and fulfilled for the rest of your life. I often blame myself for not being there yet, and I always forget that I will never be there, because this is life and this is the way it is. We will never stop growing unless we don't want it. But this is another topic. And this is when people are constantly suffering. But let's stay on the road of personal growth, and we will always experience ups and downs. Only it is not our fault if we feel low. That's the way how it goes. But if you blame yourself as often as I did or do, that you aren't further on this road, then you need to shift your perspective and tell yourself, you're here to learn more and more. Change is natural, change is needed. Change is the only consistency in life. And if we refuse to change, we will spend our life with suffering. So change your perspective. Choose another angle to look at you and your feelings and thoughts and at the outer world. And your quality of life will improve instantly. I hope this episode inspired you to recognize how easy you can change your state of mind and your life. And if you want to get coached on this, book a call with me. Use the coupon code TRANSFORMNOW to get a free discovery call. I also enjoy hearing from you what you've learned. Please share your thoughts on Instagram or YouTube. Thank you, dear listener, for spending your precious time with me and being open to transform your life. And I cannot repeat it enough. In case you still feel worthless and nobody seems to like you, I tell you, you're amazing. I love you. And you're a gift to everyone who crosses your path. And please remember these sentences over and over again. Have an amazing day and talk to you next week.